The tank was a direct result of the stalemate brought on by trench warfare in the Great War. It was produced originally in Lincoln by a firm of Foster's, who were an agricultural engineering business in that city and were very big at that time. It was designed primarily by two gentlemen, Walter Wilson and William Tritton, and to get privacy for the design they rented rooms in the White Hart Hotel in Lincoln city centre. In fact, the room that they rented for meetings is still known as the tank room at that hotel. The tank was first used on the Somme in September 1916. That would have been the Mark I. The version that you see here on display in New Zealand, they are actually replicas of a later version, the Mark IV, which first saw action at Messines in 1917 and later at Passchendaele that same year. They were the main tank used during their first major tank attack in history at Cambrai in November 1917. On that occasion, around 437 tanks attacked the German Hindenburg Line on the 20th of November of that year and pushed the Germans back a distance of something like 5 miles, which was almost unprecedented in the Great War for advances. Unfortunately, tanks cannot hold ground, and the ground was subsequently lost by a German counterattack about 10 days later. The German counterattack, incidentally, was quite interesting for the fact that it used close air support for almost the first time in warfare. German Halberstadt two-seaters attacked at low level as German stormtroopers went over the top to recapture the ground that the tanks had gained, as I said, a couple of weeks earlier.